If you keep autonomy, you keep margins. Today, I'm going to model 10 years of cash flow. Franchise versus franchise alternative. Same service business, same revenue. The only thing that changes is the fee structure. I'll show you the spreadsheet live so you can copy it cell by cell. You're not buying a job, you're buying controlled cash flow. Royalties and ad funds are a lifetime tax on that cash flow. Today, I'm going to quantify that tax. Let's start with a few simple assumptions. Base revenue, 1 million in year one. Pre-fee EBITDA at stabilization, 22% with a manager in seat. CapEx and working capital at launch are entered here. We keep these equal across both models so the comparison is fair. Revenue growth at about 5% per year. Discount rate for NPV at 12%. These are conservative, copyable numbers. If your market looks different, change them. The logic still holds. Here's how we'll compare. Scenario A, franchise, standard royalty plus brand fund. Scenario B, franchise alternative. No royalty, no brand fund, but we add a governance cost line instead. Everything else stays identical. Same revenue, same COGS, same operating expenses. Only the fee structure moves. Let's talk about typical franchise fee. Most systems charge a royalty around 4 to 6% of gross sales. Brand funds usually around 2 to 4%. So a total fee stack of 6 to 10% of revenue is very common. For this model, we're going to use 6% royalty and 2% brand fund for a total of 8% on revenue. Type that into your sheet as franchise fees equal 8% of sales. Now let's walk through the franchise P&L for year one. Pre-fee EBITDA is 22% of 1 million. That's $220,000 before franchise fee. Franchise fees at 8% of revenue are $80,000. Post fee EBITDA is 220,000 minus 80,000, which equals 140,000. That's your operating profit after the franchise tax in year one. Now, remember that number, 140,000. Now, let's build the franchise alternative. No royalty, no brand fund. Instead, we add a governance cost, so the asset runs without you. Think operator, cadence, and scorecards. We'll build governance at 2% of revenue to cover manager oversight and the operating system. So instead of 22% EBITDA minus 8% in fee, we're doing 22% minus 2% governance, which equals 20% EBITDA. 20% of 1 million is 200,000 in year one. Post-revenue EBITDA, 200,000. Let's put those side by side. Franchise EBITDA, 140,000. Franchise alternative EBITDA, 200,000. Delta in year one is 60,000 per 1 million of revenue. Same business, same customers, same trucks, just a different line item in your P&L. Now, we stretch this over 10 years. We grow revenue at 5% per year for both models. We apply the same assumptions for margins and governance. Then we discount those future cash flows at 12% to get net present value. When you run the math, the difference in NPV between franchise and franchise alternative lands around 340,000 of NPV per 1 million of year one revenue. If you scale this business to 2 million in year one, the gap roughly doubles. Same logic, same spread, just more volume. Let's look at this visually. Blue line, franchise alternative, cumulative owner cash over 10 years. Gray line, franchise cumulative owner cash over 10 years. The gap widens every year as fees compound. What starts as $60,000 per year per 1 million in revenue becomes hundreds of thousands of dollars in cumulative owner cash. That's the power of removing a lifetime of fee drag. Now let's stress test the assumption. If royalty plus brand fund is only 6% instead of 8%, your annual delta drops to about $40,000 per 1 million of revenue. The NPV gap lands around $225,000. If the fee creeps up to 10% all in, delta jumps to about $80,000 per year per 1 million, and NPV climbs to $450,000. You can also toggle average order value up or down 10%, labor costs up and down a few percent. Run your own ranges, play with the numbers. The relative advantage still holds. Unless your governance cost balloons way beyond that 2% assumption, as long as governance stays lean, franchise alternative by far is a better option. Let's leave the spreadsheet and talk reality. Lenders don't underwrite logos, they underwrite cash flow and governance. A manager in seat with weekly scorecard and a predictable cadence reduces perceived risk. That's why we build operator-run businesses, so lenders see durable cash flow and clear controls, without a brand tax dragging margins forever. Here's the boardroom lens we use with clients. Autonomy. Do you want to decide your own pricing and local marketing? Or do you want a franchise telling you what you can and can't do? Territory caps. Do you want the option to expand into new zones and suburbs? Or fences that cap your upside while you keep paying fees? Resale value. Buyers pay multiples on margins and cash flow. Perpetual fees get discounted in real deals. If you value control and margin, the math tends to favor the franchise alternative. Now here's what this model does not say. We're not claiming that all franchises are bad or that brands have no value. Some brands do bring demand, playbooks, and recurring advantages that justify their fees. This model simply isolates the fee drag, so you can see clearly what you're paying for over a 10-year arc. Then you can compare the cost to the real measurable value you're getting. If you want this exact model, we'll give you the spreadsheet. Download the 10-year model and the SBA Ready packet. Take the 3-minute fit assessment at Azgari.com. And on our call, we'll map your sources and uses, your governance cadence, and your long-term cash flow plan.